it's completely shocking, really. I think it's amazing. It's an amazing place. Oxford's really truly an amazing place. It's a very strange place as well. It's unlike anywhere I've ever been before. I mean,
Mm,
you and I come from very humble backgrounds,
mm.
and I would say that we represent the majority of the people in the UK, whereas Oxford is very much its own bubble. It's a very enclosed from real life. It's a very odd, very different experience to Leicester, for example, or just real life.
Yeah, so there's a lot. There has to be a lot of wealth in Oxford, right? I mean, there's a lot of wealthy
Mm,
backgrounds that go to Oxford
mm.
naturally. Did you have a lot of wealthy friends or friends that had wealthy parents? Was there any of that? Was
Yes.
it talked about much?
Yeah, it's funny. This is quite embarrassing actually. So, one of my first nights I got there. So I was at there's 30. I think there's 38 colleges. I think there's 39 now. They've just introduced a new college at Oxford. And I was at a college called Magdalen College. It's a very rich college. They have millions of, maybe not hundreds of millions of pounds. You can look it up on Wikipedia how much they have exactly, but the amount of wealth this one college has is just ridiculous. They own a lot of land in London and in Oxford and elsewhere. It's just staggering the amount of money they have. Um, and yeah, naturally you do interact with people of very different backgrounds. So people who own estates or who have very professional parents. That's the thing as well that really gets me is a lot of the people that you interact with at Oxford, their parents went to Oxford. So I was at Oxford with Magdalen with someone, and his father went to Magdalen. But the interesting thing was he went to Magdalen before they introduced women. So Magdalen was one of the last colleges to admit women as students.
Mm.
So when my friend's father went, it was just boys, it was just men. Um, but anyway, so I'll go back to the story. On one of the first nights I was there, um, I obviously Freshers Week, and you get too much alcohol and you get a bit drunk. And we were staying in Magdalen has a very good accommodation for postgraduate students, so PhD students and master students. And I was staying in this house in Magdalen, and we were all sat in someone's room drinking wine and beer and whatever, talking God knows what. And for some reason, I think I just got a bit mental, and I was going around the room saying, "Are you working class? Are you working class?" And I was like interrogating people, going, "Are you working class? Because if you're not, you gotta get out." And it was just, and I think it was funny because in the end, I think four of us were, and two of them weren't. They were getting really nervous. They were looking around the room, going, "Oh shit, I'm not working class." Um, Sorry, can I swear on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. I should have asked before. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think it's sometimes that working class thing slips out. But one of the weirdest things was I remember in my final year at Oxford, I was having dinner with some friends, and it occurred to all of us at the time. There was four of us that all of us were from the same background. All of us had, were from very humble backgrounds. We were the first in our family to go to university. Um, not very rich at all. And it occurred to us that it's strange that we just happen to make those friendships sort of organically without even knowing um, their each other's background. We sort of just gravitated towards each other without prior knowledge, and I find that interesting how people from the same backgrounds often do gravitate towards each other. Maybe I'm not sure if it was because of the accent or because of the way we held ourselves in the room. I think maybe this is a misconception, but I think most people who come from wealthy backgrounds are more confident, more they the rooms that are in Oxford or the colleges aren't too what would you say? They're not too foreign to the people with wealthy backgrounds because they're used to that sort of
Mm.
architecture or that sort of environment. And I also think that they, again, maybe unfairly, they think that they belong there, and they it's no wonder that they're at Oxford because their parents went to Oxford and their parents went to Oxford. So there's no surprise that they're there really.
Yeah, that sounds to me like that's their ego talking. They feel entitled, but I think
Mm,
it's great that people like what you would consider a working class. It seems like the majority of people that you made friends with are from a working background, and it just goes
yeah.
to show that you don't have to be you know, from a wealthy background to get into these high achievable places. Like it's
True.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a positive self-image belief, isn't it? Like if you believe that you can, you don't have to be wealthy to do these things. You don't.
Mm.
It's just, you don't have to think, well, oh well, my parents didn't have money, so I'll just go to a standard university and I'll just get average grades. Like if you apply yourself and you work, I mean, you're living proof of a, you know, what you'd consider a working class background, going to Oxford, and you're the first one in
Mm.
your family to do it, which I think is amazing.
Mm.